Hi, so I'll be talking about Aristotle and the heart, and more specifically be talking about how Aristotle believed the heart to be the seat of all mental processes. So some historical views on the heart and the brain. The ancient Egyptians did not care so much for the brain because that can be seen through the way that they mummified their dead. When they're mummifying their dead, the ancient Egyptians made sure to care for the heart, the liver, the stomach, intestines, kidneys, and lungs, but they would just throw the brain away. And therefore one can conclude that the brain was not considered an important aspect of the body. Then we have Hippocrates and Alcmaeon, who believed that the brain was the center of intelligence and emotion. So Hippocrates came to this conclusion because he would observe people with brain damage and people without brain damage, and because he noted a difference in their behaviors, he came to the conclusion that the brain must have something to do with one's mental processes. Then we have Empedocles, and he considered the blood to be of vital importance because he believed that the blood was a mixture of all the elements. And back then, the four elements, water, fire, earth, and air, were very important to the thoughts on the body and how the body worked. And that's why he believed the blood to be of vital importance and to be the seat of sensibility and thought. Then we come to Aristotle, who believed that the heart was the seat of mental processes. And I'll explain more about that as we go through. The elements of the body. So, in ancient thinking, the four elements, earth, water, air, and fire, were very important to science, specifically to science of the body. So these four elements all contain certain physical qualities, which are active properties throughout the body. And these qualities are hot, cold, dry, and moist. And these properties were then coupled together to hot and dry, hot and moist, cold and dry, and cold and moist. And those were then distributed throughout the body and were all became certain physical properties of different organs throughout the body. For Aristotle, these sections were divided into two different parts, the uniform and non-uniform parts. So the uniform parts consisted of the bone, flesh, and blood, to which Aristotle states, of the uniform parts present in animals, some are soft and moist, while others are hard and solid. The non-uniform parts then consist of the face, hands, eyes, nostrils, the arms, legs, and things like such. These are the parts that perform specific functions. And to Aristotle, the heart belonged to both groups, while the brain belonged to neither group, and that's why he placed such a huge emphasis on the heart. So as stated, the heart is comprised of both uniform and non-uniform parts, which makes it the center of control for the body. So the heart is uniform in its composition, but because of its shape and configuration, it is non-uniform, leading it to become an intermediate structure. And because it's an intermediate structure, it can unite the body. Additionally, the heart is considered the heating region of the body. It is a hot, dry organ which is vital to human processes. Just as how the hearth is considered the home, the main place of the home, the heart is considered the main place of the body, or at least that was Aristotle's viewpoint. So Aristotle, when he was discovering things about sleep, this is when he really placed an emphasis on the heart. So sleep is a natural state of a living organism, and sleep and waking belong to the primary sense faculty or the primary sensitive/perceptive part. And this refers to one's common sense. And Aristotle believed the common sense to be found in the heart region, because the heart is connected to all the other senses. And furthermore, Aristotle believed the heart to be connected to all the other senses because of all the blood vessels and because of all the connections the heart had to the rest of the body. So how the heart is connected to all parts of the body. So Aristotle believed that the passages, vessels, veins, and as such, extended from the heart to the rest of the body, and that is what enabled the heart to be the locus of control. He would look at the body and realize that the main senses of the body were connected to the heart. And this led him to believe that the origins of movement also stem from the heart. So although Aristotle did not know about nerves, he did call the sinews neuro. And what Aristotle believed was that whatever the nerves, tendons, ligaments, muscles, etc., whatever was connected from the heart is what enabled the heart to then go to all parts of the body. So from the top of the head to the bottom of the toes, Aristotle believed that the heart was that main center, and because of the heart and its connections, that's how the body was able to move, and that's why he believed it to be the seat of all mental processes, all sensations, all emotions, etc. Then we have the brain. So Aristotle did not associate the brain with any type of mental faculties. So Aristotle's only concern with the brain was the brain's moist and fluid nature. He believed the brain to be a cooling agent, or a cooling organ. So Aristotle believed that the brain's job was to preserve the animal's nature. The brain and the heart worked together so that the brain could help in regulating the hot, dry temperature of the heart. And then through some of his experiments, Aristotle did not believe the brain to have any anatomical and functional relations with sensory organs. So when he was looking at animal brains, when Aristotle mechanically stimulated the brain, there was no reaction from the animal, and therefore Aristotle came to the conclusion that the brain had nothing to do with reactionary movements. Then when he was looking at the eyes, the reason why the eyes are at the top of the head, and since the eyes are the main locus of perception, Aristotle believed that because the eyes were a cool organ and the brain was a cool organ, the two of them would associate together. Same thing with the ears. So the ears were by the skull, which is by the brain, because the ears, or rather, when hearing things, had to do with air, which is another element that was important for the body. And the reason why the ears were up by the brain was so that the air could circulate through them, which would allow one to hear. Same thing once again with the nose. When one inhales, one's inhaling the air, which will then flow throughout the rest of the body, but Aristotle did not see a connection between those sensory organs and the brain. He rather believed them to be either associated because of their coolness, because of their temperature. He believed those organs to all be cool, or he believed them to just be in that region because of the element that that body constituted for that certain part. So, in conclusion, Aristotle believed that the heart is as the hearth is to the home. So the heart is the center of all mental processes. So he did believe that the heart and the brain did need each other. They worked together. But the heart was the main principle of life, of perception, of motor processes, animal heat, nourishment, and growth. Thank you.